Okay, magic, I'm back. We're going to start getting the dumplings ready. For this, you're going to need all-purpose flour. It can be any brand. I'm partial to the King Arthur brand. My grandmother loved the Sarasota brand, but you can use Pillsbury. You can use any brand of all-purpose flour. I'm going to consult my thing. If you're not going to double the recipe, if you're doing my grandmother's basic recipe, you're going to put 3.5 cups of flour into your mixing bowl. I'm doubling it. So I'm going to start with 7 cups of flour. And these you're going to kind of want, you don't need to sift, but you're going to kind of want to keep the measurement on top. So that was cup number 1. Two. 3. 4. 5. 6. I'm actually going to stop at 6 cups, but do not put your flour away because you're definitely going to need it, especially if you double. Like I said earlier in the video, if you look at my earlier videos when we talked about the different types of flour, flour is different depending on what season it was packaged on. You may need more flour, you may use less flour or not need as much flour. It all depends on how your flour acts. So I'm going to turn you guys around or tip you. That's just flour. I just have my flour in my mixing bowl. Again, if you have the stand mixer that raises, where your head is the tilt back, if you triple or if you double the recipe, which we're doing, that's why I have 6 cups of flour in here, you're going to want to be a little bit more careful. Don't add all 6 cups. Start with 4 and then slowly, as we mix, we're going to slowly add the rest of our flour. To this, we are going to add one, oops, and I grabbed the wrong one. We are going to add 1 teaspoon of salt. And if you're a good measurer, and I actually grabbed out a little bit more than a tablespoon, I'm going to put a little bit less than that. And you're just going to give it a little bit of a mixture. Don't go beyond the stir, otherwise you'll have flour all over the place. And that's all you need to do. Now, to this, we're going to add our milk and our eggs, but we're going to mix the two together. And we're not going to do that until we're ready to make the dumplings. I'm going to stop the video for a second and I'm going to pick it right back up. Okay, and we're back with our dumpling series. We're making the dumpling, the pork, and the sweet sour cabbage. You already saw the sweet sour cabbage being made. Today we're just heating it and serving it with our pork and our dumplings. So in my mixing bowl, I have 6.5 cups of flour and salt. I put my salt and my flour together. It's still a little bit early to do this because I want to serve my dumplings warm. This only needs to sit, once you put your milk and your eggs in here, needs to sit for at least a half an hour before you put them in the boiling water. And I will tell you, this recipe is going to make a mess on your stove, and there is no way really of getting around that. It just makes a mess. I'll show you some tidbits and tricks that I have learned over the years to keep my stove halfway decent, but it is going to make a mess. So, it's 3:15. We're shooting dinner about 6:30, 6:45. I don't need to start anything until about 4:30. So, I'm going to take my pork roast out in about a half an hour. So, I will be back and I will teach you step-by-step instructions on how to do both the dumplings and the pork loin roast.